There are discoveries that rewrite textbooks. There are discoveries that reshape history. And then there are discoveries that unsettle the experts themselves. Objects buried for thousands of years, structures that defy expectations, artifacts found in places where they should not exist. Some of these discoveries challenge what we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. Some suggest forgotten knowledge. Others expose how fragile our understanding of history truly is. Today we explore 15 ancient discoveries that terrified archaeologists. Not because they prove something supernatural, but because they reveal how much we still do not understand. This is oddly true. The Antikythera mechanism. In 1901, sponge divers discovered a shipwreck off the coast of Greece. Inside the wreck was a corroded lump of bronze. At first glance, it looked like debris, but when scientists examined it more closely, they found gears. Dozens of them. Precision-cut bronze gears arranged in a complex mechanism. It dated back over 2,000 years. The Antikythera mechanism is now considered the world's first analog computer. It could predict eclipses, track planetary movements, model astronomical cycles. Nothing like it was supposed to exist in ancient Greece. Historians believed complex gear systems appeared more than 1,000 years later. Its existence forced scholars to reconsider technological timelines. It did not prove aliens built it. It proved that ancient engineers were far more advanced than we assumed. And that realization alone was unsettling. Göbekli Tepe. In southeastern Turkey stands the oldest known monumental structure on Earth. Göbekli Tepe dates back nearly 11,000 years. That is older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids, older than written language. Massive stone pillars arranged in circles, carved with animals and symbols. According to traditional theory, large-scale construction began after agriculture. Humans settled, formed villages, then built temples. But Göbekli Tepe predates farming. Hunter-gatherers built it. This discovery inverted our understanding of civilization. Perhaps religion came before cities. Perhaps complex social organization existed long before farming. Archaeologists were not frightened by mystery. They were unsettled by how wrong previous assumptions had been. The Baghdad Battery. In 1938, archaeologists discovered clay jars in Iraq. Inside them were copper cylinders and iron rods. The objects dated to around 250 BCE. Some researchers proposed they may have functioned as primitive batteries. When filled with acidic liquid, similar setups can produce small electrical currents. The idea of ancient electricity was controversial. Most scholars believe the jars were likely used for storage or ritual purposes. But laboratory tests demonstrated they could generate voltage. Even if not used as batteries, the possibility forced debate. Did ancient civilizations experiment with electricity? Or are we projecting modern concepts onto ancient objects? The uncertainty itself caused discomfort. The Nazca lines high in the deserts of Peru are massive geoglyphs. Shapes of animals, spirals, geometric patterns. Some stretch for hundreds of meters. They can only be fully seen from the air. They were created between 500 BCE and 500 CE. The question is not how they were made, it is why. Some suggest astronomical calendars. Others propose ritual pathways. Early sensational theories proposed alien landing strips. Modern archaeology rejects that. But even without aliens, the scale and precision remain astonishing. Ancient people moved thousands of tons of earth without advanced tools. The lines survived for centuries in harsh desert conditions. The mystery is not extraterrestrial. It is human ambition. The Sacsayhuaman stone walls. In Peru, near Cusco, enormous stone blocks form fortress walls. Some weigh over 100 tons. They are cut with extraordinary precision, fitted together without mortar, so tightly that a blade cannot pass between them. How did a civilization without iron tools move and shape stones of that size? Archaeologists believe they used ramps, manpower, and stone tools, but the engineering skill remains staggering. The stones have survived earthquakes that destroyed modern buildings. Sometimes ancient architecture humbles modern engineering. The Piri Reis Map. In 1929, a map was rediscovered in a palace library in Istanbul. It was drawn in 1513 by the Ottoman admiral Piri Reis. At first glance, it seemed like an ordinary early modern map. But scholars noticed something unusual. The coastline of South America appeared surprisingly accurate. Even more controversial was a section that some claimed resembled Antarctica, centuries before its official discovery. Some speculated that it was evidence of lost ancient navigation. But further analysis revealed that the map was compiled from multiple earlier sources, including Portuguese charts. The supposed Antarctica section was likely a distorted extension of South America. The mystery was not that ancient sailors had global satellites. The mystery was how much geographic knowledge had already been lost and rediscovered across centuries. The Roman dodecahedrons. Across parts of Europe, archaeologists have discovered small, hollow bronze objects shaped like 12-sided geometric forms. They date back to the Roman Empire. No written explanation of their purpose survives. They vary in size. They have holes of different diameters on each face. Some propose they were candle holders. Others suggest surveying tools, knitting devices, religious artifacts. No theory has been universally accepted. What unsettled archaeologists was not supernatural origin. It was the absence of explanation. The Roman Empire was heavily documented, yet these objects remain silent. Sometimes history does not leave answers. The Longyu Caves. In China, enormous underground chambers were discovered in 1992. Local villagers had long believed they were natural ponds. When water was drained, massive man-made caverns were revealed, carved entirely from solid rock, with pillars, symmetrical walls, precise chisel marks. They date back over 2,000 years. No historical record mentions their construction. No documentation survives describing their purpose. The scale suggests massive labor. The silence in historical texts is what disturbs scholars. How could such an enormous project leave no written trace? The London Hammer. In 1936, a hammer encased in rock was reportedly discovered in Texas. Some claim the surrounding rock dated back millions of years. If true, that would suggest human tools existed far earlier than accepted history. However, geological analysis indicates the rock formation around the hammer was likely a concretion, a mineral deposit that can form relatively quickly around modern objects. The hammer itself appears to be a 19th century miner's tool. The fear was not that the object rewrote human history. It was how easily context can mislead interpretation. Archaeology is not just about discovery, it is about correct dating. The Moai statues of Easter Island massive stone heads stand along the shores of Rapa Nui. Some weigh over 80 tons. For years, the mystery was how they were moved. Recent experiments suggest they were walked upright using ropes and coordinated teams. The statues also have buried bodies. Archaeologists once thought they were only heads. The unsettling realization was not mystical. It was ecological. Evidence suggests deforestation and resource depletion contributed to societal collapse. The statues represent cultural achievement, but also warning. The Saqqara bird. Discovered in Egypt in 1898, the Saqqara bird is a small wooden artifact shaped like a bird. Some claimed it resembles a glider, a primitive airplane, ancient aviation. Most Egyptologists believe it was a simple carved toy or symbolic object. Tests show it is not aerodynamically stable as originally found, but replicas adjusted slightly can glide. The artifact sparked debate not because it proves flight, but because ancient symbolism can resemble modern technology. Humans see patterns through modern lenses. The Shigir idol. In Russia, archaeologists uncovered a wooden sculpture over 12,000 years old. The Shigir idol is covered in intricate carvings and symbols. It predates the pyramids by thousands of years. For decades, early humans were assumed to be primitive artists. This artifact forced scholars to reconsider cognitive sophistication in prehistoric societies. The fear was not of lost civilization, It was of underestimated intelligence. The Costa Rica stone spheres. Perfectly rounded stone spheres have been found in Costa Rica. Some weigh several tons. They were shaped by indigenous cultures. How they achieved such symmetry remains debated. Stone hammering and abrasion are the most accepted methods, but the precision suggests advanced craftsmanship. Their purpose remains unclear. Ceremonial? Status symbols? Astronomical markers? Sometimes what terrifies archaeologists is not alien intervention. It is the realization that skill does not require modern tools. The Ulfbert Viking swords. Several Viking swords bear the inscription Ulfbert. Metallurgical analysis revealed unusually pure steel, higher quality than most European steel at the time. Some researchers suggest trade networks brought advanced materials from Central Asia. The fear was not advanced technology appearing from nowhere. It was the reminder that medieval trade networks were far more complex than once believed. Globalization is not modern. It is ancient. The Denisovan discovery. In a cave in Siberia, archaeologists discovered a fragment of bone. DNA analysis revealed it did not belong to modern humans, nor Neanderthals. It belonged to a previously unknown human species, the Denisovans. They lived tens of thousands of years ago, interbred with our ancestors. Traces of their DNA remain in some modern populations. The discovery reshaped human evolutionary history. It proved that our story is not linear. It is braided, complex, interconnected. The terrifying realization was this: we thought we knew our origins. We did not. Conclusion: 15 discoveries, none supernatural, none magical, all real, each one unsettling in its own way. Not because they break the laws of physics, but because they expose the limits of our assumptions. History is not fixed. It is reconstructed, revised, refined. Every excavation has the power to rewrite what we think we know. Archaeology does not uncover certainty. It uncovers humility. And perhaps the most unsettling discovery of all is how much remains buried. That is not speculation. That is oddly true.